G'day everyone and welcome to Brushes with Beck. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how I select colours for a coloured pencil piece. I see people asking this question all the time. How do I know what colours to use? How do I know what colours are in my reference photo? What colours do I use to get the colour of fur that I want? And that's a lot of big questions, and a lot of it is simply just practice. You need to practice, you need to learn what colours you have, get to know your pencils, and it does get easier with time. However, there are things you can do to make it a little bit easier. So the first thing, the most important thing you need to do is have a colour chart for each set of pencils that you have. Now this colour chart is for the Faber-Castell Polychromos 120 set, and this colour chart is for the Derwent Drawing Pencils set of 24. So the best thing about doing a colour chart is not only do you have everything laid out in front of you very clearly in one spot, but it helps you to learn the colours while you are creating the chart. You're getting a feel for each colour, getting a better idea of what it looks like. And secondly, the colour on the barrel of your pencil is not always going to accurately represent the colour that the pencil actually is. Some of them are more accurate than others, and some of them are quite wildly off. So it's good to know what the colours actually look like laid down on the paper rather than just going by what's on the barrel of the pencil, because it can vary, it can be quite different. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, the better you know your pencils, the easier it is going to be for you to pick colours out. So I can look at an image and go, oh, that needs some beige red, because I know what beige red looks like. So the more you use your pencils, and also laying down that colour chart, is going to make it so much easier for you to select colours. So let's get on to how I look at an image and pick colours for it. So for that, we're going to go to my computer screen. If you're liking this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so this is Adobe Photoshop on my computer. You don't need Photoshop for this step. You can use Microsoft Paint or probably almost any app on your phone for images. All you need is this little eyedropper tool. It's up here. If I hover over it, no, there it goes. It says eyedropper tool. It says it samples colors from an image, and it does exactly that. So if you click anywhere on this image, the top, so you've got three colors here. There's an outer circle of gray. That's just to show you where your selection is. The top half of that inner part of the circle is the color you've selected. The bottom half is the previous color you've selected. So the color I've selected at the moment is sort of a dark blue gray, and if I move over to the eye and click again, you can see the current color I've selected is a yellow, and then it's got the blue gray down at the bottom now. If I move somewhere else, the yellow will be at the bottom and the white, or close to white, will be at the top. Now if you're having trouble seeing what these colors actually are when they come up in your little circle, on the top right of the screen in Photoshop, it's got like the color palette, and it tells you whether you're in the blue tone range, or if I click over here, we're now in an orangey brown tone range. Also, if you click on your color selections, it will bring up the color picker, and as you move the eyedropper tool around, if you hold down the mouse button and drag this around, it shows you the color tones as they change throughout an image. Now be careful with doing color selection with an eyedropper tool, because if I just move over here and go click, all that whole area is that blue-gray color. Well, not really. Some parts of it are. And also, if your reference photo is low quality, the pixels aren't always going to be exactly representing the animal accurately. There's going to be some variance in there. So make sure you click around a little bit, get an approximation of what the color is in each area, and work from there. So the main point with using a computer program is to help you see colors that you may not be able to see very well. Another way to do this is to adjust the image. So if I adjust the brightness and contrast on this image, hold on, I've got the wrong layer selected. If I adjust the brightness and contrast on this image, it will help to show me exactly what kind of colors I'm working with. And you can see now on the left hand side it's more cooler blue tones, and on the right hand side it's warmer red and brown tones with a little bit of yellow in there. So I'm not going to work from the photo adjusted like this, but often if you adjust the settings on a photo, really push them to their extremes, it can help you see colors that you are struggling to see. Rather than just using black or a dark brown on the fur, there is more than that in there. You just need to sort of push the boundaries of the photo to get a better idea of what's underneath. Now, that may all seem a bit overwhelming, and then you say, well, how do I actually pick the blue that I've matched up with on the computer screen? Well, let's pick something in here. Yeah, you may be asking, how do I go from that color on the screen to the color of pencil? And that's part of being familiar with your pencils. If you are going to your color chart and you're saying, okay, what's the closest blue I can see on my color chart to that color on the screen? It might be this indanthrine blue. So we'll pick that one out. Is it that one? It is that one. And just because you picked out this blue doesn't mean you're using it in full strength in this area on the cat's face here, on the side of the nose, where you've selected that color for. This might be an underlayer color, and then you're building up over the top with a little bit of black or some other blue tones underneath, and then using this over the top with a bit of black, or even a bit of, say, Payne's grey, which is a nice dark grey. So I go through the process and I look at the image, I look at the different areas of the image, and I just pick out different colors that I think I'm going to need. I tend to pick, if there's, let's see, on the side of the cat face here where it's a bit brown, we've got quite a dark brown there, and I might pick Van Dyke brown or maybe burnt umber for that section. So let's say that color's sort of a burnt umber. I'm going to also be picking some other tones that are similar. So it's in the range of red. So I might also pick something that's a little bit more reddish, such as the Caput Mortuum or the Caput Mortuum Violet, to keep it a little bit warm. Probably more the Caput Mortuum. And then I'd also be using a color that's a little bit more pale, because I don't want to always go straight to the darkest color of my fur. Sometimes I want to build up to that darker color first before going in with that color. So I might go in first with perhaps a nougat, because it has slightly yellowish hints, and then put my burnt umber over the top, maybe even with some walnut brown, because that's nice and dark, and also use some Caput Mortuum Violet to keep it nice and warm. And like I said at the start, a lot of it is just practice. The more you do this, the easier it's going to get. But really, the most important thing that I find is being familiar with your color pencils. Make sure you have a swatch chart for every set of pencils that you have, and make sure you have it out to refer to when you're picking your colors, because it makes life so much easier to pick from a color chart, in my opinion, than to pick from the pencils in your case. Because if you're going by the casing of the pencil, like the sample color, it's not always going to be accurate. So once I've selected what colors I'm going to use, usually this is from my last piece. My apologies that this paper got a little bit dirty. What I usually do is I chart all my colors around the edge of my sketch that I did, and from that, you know, I swatch them all out. I list the names, and as I use each color, because I'm making YouTube videos and often I'm giving you the colors that I might be using, I list the colors down and I tick them off once I use them, and if I don't use them, often I will cross them off so that I know I haven't ended up using that color. So you can see here I picked all these colors, I sort of put them in color order, And then at the end, I also picked out an additional blue that I wanted to use that I hadn't picked out originally. And the benefit of having that chart that I can refer to where I've listed all the colors I've used is I actually want to do a companion piece for that chat drawing that I did on Pastel Mat. If you saw the video a couple of weeks ago, last week? 2 weeks ago, I think. I want to do a second piece that matches that of the male bird because that piece was of the female bird. And now that I have that color list, I'll be able to go back and refer to it and make it look the same because I'll be using the same color tones. It really is, like I've said, I'm going to say it again, it's a matter of practicing and really learning your colors. You don't need to know the names of your colors. Names of colors are really just helpful to say, oh, I need that red. Which one was that again? Oh, it's India red. The name doesn't matter. What matters is that the color matches the color that you want. So don't get too caught up on the names of the pencils. You really just need to learn what the colors look like, and the names are just there to help you refer to those colors. I can say, oh, that's right, I need cinnamon. That's the tone that I need. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed this video and gotten something out of it. I know I was a bit long and rambly, but we got there in the end. This is my process for picking out colors. This might not be the same process that you use, and you might find that my process doesn't work for you, and that's completely fine. Everybody has a different way that they are comfortable doing things, and with art there's not really any hard and fast rules about that kind of thing, so whatever works for you, works for you. This is just what works for me. So thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. Remember to hit that notification bell button so you'll be notified about my weekly videos. Thanks very much for watching. Stay creative.